dinitrogen. So the next method, and it is a very, very important method, that is nothing but preparation of dinitrogen from by thermal decomposition of thermal decomposition of sodium or barium azide. Sodium or barium azide. Sodium azide formula NaN3. Barium azide formula BaN3. What is azide? Azide is nothing but N3 containing 1 unit charge. So azide is nothing but N3 minus. So N3 minus is called azide. And N3H is called hydrozoic acid. It is called hydrozoic acid. It is acid, and you remember N3H is a base. This is nothing but ammonia. And it is a stronger acid than acetic acid. It is stronger acid than acetic acid. So N3H is called hydrozoic acid, NH3 is called ammonia, and N3 minus is called azide ion. N3 minus is called azide ion. Now, this sodium azide, when it is subjected to heating, then you take 2 moles, then you will get 2 moles of sodium along with 3 into 2, 6 moles of nitrogen is there. It is converted to 3 moles of nitrogen gas. Similarly, if you take barium azide formula BaN3 taken twice, because barium plus 2, N3 is minus 1, so 2 into minus 1, then this is plus 2, here the charge will be balanced. So when it is subjected to heating, we will get barium, and 3 moles of nitrogen gas will be liberated. In this process, the nitrogen obtained is pure. In this process, the nitrogen obtained is pure. So among the following methods, in which method we will get the pure nitrogen? So pure nitrogen can be obtained by thermal decomposition of sodium or barium azide. And one more method is there that is not given in our textbook, that is when ammonia gas is passed over cupric oxide. So next method, when ammonia gas is passed over cupric oxide, take 2 moles and it is 3 moles. Then this is converted to nitrogen gas, and after that 6 hydrogens and 3 oxygen, they are converted to 3 moles of H2O, and after that 3 moles of copper will be formed. So this is another method for preparation of nitrogen. So these are the general methods used for preparation of ammonia. Next, physical properties. So the first physical property, nitrogen is colorless. Second, odorless. third, tasteless, fourth, non-toxic. It is colorless, odorless, tasteless, non-toxic. But in presence of nitrogen atmosphere, animals will die. Animals will die due to lack of oxygen. Generally, nitrogen is non-toxic, but in presence of nitrogen environment or nitrogen atmosphere, animals will die because of lack of oxygen. And second point, it forms two stable isotopes. It forms two isotopes. It forms two isotopes. One is nitrogen 14 and another one nitrogen 15. Of course, nitrogen 14 is more stable than nitrogen 15. And the third one, solubility in nitrogen. Solubility of nitrogen in water is very less. That is 23.2 centimeter cube. Nothing but 23.2 ml, we can say, per 1 liter of water. In 1 liter of water, its solubility is very, very less. It is only 23.2 ml or 23.2 centimeter cube of nitrogen was dissolved in 1 liter of water at 273 kelvins and 1 bar pressure. So its solubility in water is very, very less. And another point, its freezing point and boiling points are very less. Its freezing point and boiling points are very less. And nitrogen gas is not combustible and it does not support for combustion. Next point is nitrogen gas is non-combustible gas and it does not promote combustion. Next, chemical properties. Chemical properties. Generally, nitrogen is chemically inert. Nitrogen is chemically inert due to presence of triple bond and high bond dissociation energy. High bond dissociation energy. So because of that, this reason, nitrogen cannot undergo chemical reactions at room temperature. So at room temperature, it is chemically inert, but with increase in temperature, its reactivity increases. But with increase in temperature, its reactivity increases. So at a high temperature, first point, reaction with metals reaction with metals like lithium and magnesium. So it reacts with the lithium and magnesium at a high temperature. So at a high temperature, lithium reacts with nitrogen and it forms lithium nitride. So here you have to take 2 moles, then here 6 moles of lithium. So this is called lithium nitride. Lithium nitride. Similarly, it directly combines with magnesium and form magnesium nitride. So magnesium plus N2, it gives magnesium nitride. So here nitride, here the valency of nitrogen is 3, valency of magnesium is 2. So the formula becomes crisscross. So Mg3N2. So it is magnesium nitride. It is magnesium nitride. So what is the difference between azide and nitride? Azide is nothing but N3 minus. Nitride is nothing but N minus 3. The oxidation state of nitrogen is minus 3 here. In nitride, the oxidation state of nitrogen is minus 3. In case of azide, it is N3 minus, it is N minus 3. So the first property, reaction with metals. So at low temperature it does not react with metals, but at a high temperature it reacts with metals and it forms corresponding nitrides. It reacts with mainly lithium and magnesium. And the second one is a reaction with the hydrogen. Second property, reaction with hydrogen. Again, at low temperature or at room temperature, nitrogen does not react with the hydrogen. The reason for that, nitrogen is chemically inert due to the presence of high bond dissociation energy. But at a high temperature, nitrogen reacts with hydrogen at around 700 kelvins, around or more than 700, around 773, 700 to 773, and presence of catalyst, that is nothing but iron oxide. It gives NaH3. And the reaction is a reversible reaction and it is exothermic. During this process, energy is released, that is 46 kilojoule per mole. 46 kilojoule per mole. For 1 mole, 46, for 2 moles, it becomes 92. So this type of, this is one of the method for preparation of ammonia. So it is, this method we called it as Haber's process. It is called Haber's process. This is one of the important method for preparation of ammonia for the industrially on large scale. We can prepare ammonia by using this Haber's process. So what are the favorable conditions and what is the flow chart regarding this Haber's process, etc. We'll study in the next class. Next topic we'll study. So that is a second property of nitrogen. And third property, reaction with oxygen. Reaction with oxygen. Again, at room temperature, nitrogen does not react with oxygen. But at a high temperature, N2 plus O2, it is gas, at around 2000 kelvins. At around 2000 kelvins, it gives nitric oxide. At around 2000 kelvins, it gives nitric oxide. So these are the chemical properties of nitrogen. Because of chemical inertness of nitrogen, only few chemical properties are there. Next, what are the uses of nitrogen? What are the uses of nitrogen? So the first use of this nitrogen, so nitrogen is used for the preparation of ammonia by Haber's process. In the Haber's process, we will prepare ammonia, we will manufacture ammonia. During the preparation of ammonia, we will use nitrogen. And also, not only for the preparation of ammonia and other industrial chemicals. Like CaCN2. CaCN2 is called calcium. CaCl2 is called calcium cyanamide. CaCl2 is called calcium cyanamide. It is used for fertilizers, and a mixture of calcium cyanamide and C, where C is graphite. A mixture of calcium cyanamide and graphite is called nitroleum mixture. This nitroleum mixture is used for as a fertilizer. Calcium cyanamide and a mixture of graphite is called nitroleum mixture. It is used as a fertilizer. And this calcium cyanamide, when subjected to hydrolysis, here one calcium is there, one carbon and 3 oxygens. It is converted to CaCO3 along with 2 nitrogens and 6 hydrogens. They are converted to 2 moles of ammonia. So when calcium cyanamide is subjected to hydrolysis, we will get ammonia. So this is one of the application of nitrogen. Nitrogen is used for the preparation of ammonia in Haber's process, and other industrial chemicals containing nitrogen like calcium cyanamide. A mixture of calcium cyanamide and graphite is called a nitroleum mixture. That nitroleum mixture is used for fertilizers, and this calcium cyanide is subjected to hydrolysis. We will get again ammonia. And the second important application of nitrogen is to create an inert atmosphere during the extraction of metals, to create an inert atmosphere. During extraction of metals like iron and steel, during extraction of metals, we need inert atmosphere. Because if any oxygen is present here, then iron reacts with oxygen and it is converted to Fe2O3. So in order to avoid the reaction of iron with oxygen, we will remove completely oxygen and we will fill nitrogen gas. When nitrogen gas is present in that atmosphere, extraction of iron does not react with nitrogen. So to create some inert atmosphere, in industry, during the extraction of metals, we use nitrogen. That is the second property. And the third property, nitrogen in the form of liquid nitrogen, third one, third use. Liquid nitrogen is used as a refrigerant. It is used as a refrigerant. For biological materials. It is used as a refrigerant for biological materials. And also for food items. And also for food items. And for cryosurgery. Some of the surgeries are made at very low temperature in order to remove abnormal tissues. In order to destroy or remove abnormal tissues, we have to maintain very low temperature. In order to create that low temperature, we are using this nitrogen gas. So that type of surgeries is called cryosurgery. So liquid nitrogen is used as a refrigerant for preservation of biological materials, food items, and cryosurgery. That is about story of nitrogen, preparation of nitrogen, physical properties of nitrogen, and what are the applications of nitrogen and uses of nitrogen. Next topic is preparation of ammonia. Important, this is preparation of ammonia. How ammonia is prepared? The first method, ammonia is present in small amount. Ammonia is present in small amount in air and soil. In this air and soil, how nitrogen is formed? So how nitrogen is present in this air and soil in small amount? That nitrogen story is completed. Now we are discussing about ammonia. So ammonia is present in small amount in air and soil. Why ammonia is present in small amount in air and soil? So in air and soil, ammonia is present in small amount due to decomposition of nitrogen containing organic compound. Nitrogen containing organic compounds decomposition. Due to decomposition of nitrogen containing organic compound, that is nothing but nitrogenous organic compounds. Those example for nitrogenous organic compounds is nothing but NaH2CO NaH2. This NaH2CO NaH2 we called it as urea when it is subjected to hydrolysis. This urea is used as a fertilizer when we are using fertilizers like urea. That urea, when it undergo hydrolysis, then what happened here, two hydrogens are added to this two ammonia NaH2, it becomes NH4 twice. Now two oxygens are added to CO, it becomes CO3. This is called ammonium carbonate. This ammonium carbonate decomposes. That ammonium carbonate decomposes, then we will get 2 moles of NaH3 and H2O plus CO2. So this is the one of the method for preparation of ammonia. That ammonia is present in small quantity in air and soil. The reason for that, due to decomposition of nitrogenous organic compounds. like urea. This is the first method. And the second method, on small scale nitrogen is prepared. On small scale nitrogen is prepared on small scale, ammonia is prepared by decomposition of ammonium salts. Ammonium salts like NH4Cl or NH4 twice SO4 by using either NaOH, caustic soda, or calcium hydroxide. By using NaOH or calcium hydroxide, we will prepare ammonia from ammonium salts. So NH4Cl, when it is made to react with NaOH, so here from this one NaH3 will come, and one Na and Cl, NaCl, and one OH and hydrogen from this, it becomes H2O. If you take NH4 twice SO4, ammonium sulfate, salt of ammonia, if you take calcium hydroxide, again you will get 2 moles of ammonia here. 2 moles of ammonia. Next, CaSO4. After that, here 2 OHs are there, 2 H2O. So this is the another method. In this method, we will prepare ammonia in small scale by the decomposition of ammonium salts by using caustic soda or calcium hydroxide. And the next method is very, very important. That is from Haber's process. On large scale, it is prepared from Haber's process. So next method is Haber's process. Next one is Haber's process. So on large scale it is prepared. On large scale it is prepared by using Haber's process. In Haber's process, nitrogen is made to react with hydrogen in presence of catalyst and high temperature. We will get NH3, and the reaction is exothermic. The amount of energy released during this process is 46 kilojoule per mole. So according to Le-Chatelier's principle, so here the reaction is a reversible reaction. Whenever it is a reversible reaction, then we apply Le-Chatelier's principle. According to Le-Chatelier's principle, the favorable conditions for the formation of ammonia, first, effect of pressure. Here 4 moles are there, here 2 moles are there. So when you apply high pressure here, then the reaction will take place forward direction according to Le-Chatelier's principle. So favorable condition for the formation of ammonia, high pressure, that is 200 atmospheres or 200 into 10 power 5 pascals. And second, effect of temperature. Effect of temperature. So this reaction is exothermic. Whenever the reaction is exothermic, low temperature is favored. Low temperature is favored. But at a low temperature, reaction will not take place. And the reaction is very slow. In order to increase the rate of the reaction, we will maintain an optimum temperature, that is around 700 to 773 kelvins. And after that, we use a catalyst. We use a catalyst. That catalyst is iron oxide containing Al2O3 and K2O. To increase the activity of the catalyst, we use another substance that is called promoter. That is called promoter. We use molybdenum as a promoter. These are some favorable conditions for the formation of ammonia. These are the favorable conditions for the formation of ammonia. Now, another important flow chart for the preparation of ammonia is given in our textbook. In board exam, number of times asked this question: how ammonia is prepared from Haber's process? Explain by using flow chart. So this is the flow chart used for the preparation of ammonia. In this case, first hydrogen and nitrogen are passed through a compressor, where the nitrogen and hydrogen gases are compressed and the pressure is maintained around 20 megapascals, nothing but 200 atmospheres. Now the nitrogen and hydrogen gases are compressed here. These compressed nitrogen and hydrogen gases are passed to the catalyst chamber. In this chamber, catalyst is there, that is iron oxide and Al2O3 and K2O, and the temperature is maintained at 700 kelvins. At this high temperature and in the presence of catalyst, that compressed nitrogen and hydrogen combined with one another, and they combined with one another and converted to ammonia. That ammonia is present in the form of liquid. So ammonia is present in the form of liquid. Even at these conditions also, some of the nitrogen and hydrogen, still they are present in the gas state, still they are unable to react with one another. The unreacted nitrogen and hydrogen gas will be escaped out, and the hydrogen and unreacted nitrogen and hydrogen gas is made to pass into the pump. By using this pump, we will remove the unreacted nitrogen and hydrogen gas. This gas entered into the pump. From this pump, again, we will send this nitrogen and hydrogen gas into the catalyst chamber. Here, again, this nitrogen and hydrogen again undergo chemical reaction. Then we will get a liquid ammonia. If we continue this process number of times, then whatever the nitrogen and hydrogen gas we have taken, that completely reacted with one another and converted into ammonia gas. This is the flow chart used for preparation of ammonia, and this flow chart is very, very important previously. So a number of times asked this flow chart for preparation of ammonia. Next, physical properties of ammonia and chemical properties of ammonia we'll see in the next class. Thank you.